Battlefield Podcast.
Welcome back, everybody, to an episode of His and Hers. I'm Ola, aka ChalkOne, alongside Peekaboo Bang, and we figured that for you guys to get to know us a little bit, we would share our favorite loadouts in both Battlefield 3 and Battlefield 4. We're going to start with the Assault Kit, and we're going to keep it real simple. We're going to tell you what they are and why we like them. So why don't you start us off, Peekaboo?
So for my Battlefield 3 favorite Assault loadout, coming from a big Counter-Strike background, I really like the M16A3. I have like 144 stars with the thing.
Wow.
Yeah. I probably really like it because it's very similar to the M4 in Counter-Strike 1.6. It shoots very much the same kind of recoil, sounds very similar to that game. So that was probably why when I first unlocked it, why I just absolutely went crazy with it. So that's probably my favorite weapon assault loadout.
What do you put on there for attachments?
Holo sight. I like the holo sight over the Cobra just because you have a little bit... Anything with an RDS is going to give you more of a field of view, so I'll do that. Heavy barrel and foregrips. Secondary sidearm would be the Rex. Its gun kicks like a horse, but it's amazing as long as you know how to control it. And then obviously a good squad specialization to round it out, and medic bag and defibs.
Yeah, it's very similar. I think for me, for the Assault Kit in BF3, again, I'll go backwards, med kit and defib. That's just what you sort of run with. I never really run with an M320 in that. I also use the MP412 Rex because I think for me it's the hitting power. You can kill somebody in one or two shots if you aim it well. Yeah, you don't have 15 bullets in the magazine or whatever, but it does the job. For the primary weapon, and this is probably mostly because I've played TDM a lot in the later stages of my BF3 playing time, is the AUG A3, which, I don't know, I somehow fell in love with it. It works really well for me in close quarters. It reloads fairly quickly for me. I throw on a reflex RDS and also foregrip and heavy barrel. Like in BF3, the options are surprisingly more limited when you're used to BF4 now. So, you know, I find it refreshing, actually.
When going back, yeah.
Yeah, it's simpler times. What about your BF4 assault loadout?
BF4 assault loadout would be, obviously my primary is going to be the AK-971, which I played a lot with toward the end in Battlefield 3 as well. So I was really excited to get that gun back in BF4. Mm-hmm. Compensator, because it kicks like a mule in BF4, so you really want that compensator on there. If you go with a heavy barrel, you're going to want some kind of grip, but I really like the gun with the compensator and a vertical grip, and then just typical 1x holo or Cobra RDS, one of the two.
What about your sidearm?
Sidearm right now is the Rex, of course. I still like it in BF4. It's a little different. It feels like the kickback is a lot less to me. It sounds different too, but that would be my sidearm, medic bag, defibs, typical stuff.
I do the same. Again, med kit or medic bag. I got to differentiate in Battlefield 4, and the defibs for the sidearm. I can't get past using the P226. It's the first pistol you start with. I have a bunch of stuff unlocked for it, like the ghost ring, just because it looks cool, and I don't know, it works really well for me. The Rex I didn't like, but I haven't tried it since they patched it. They changed something about the time between shots or they made a tweak in like one of the last two patches, and I haven't tried it since then, but it never had the same feeling for me as it did in BF3. So in BF3 I was very controlled, single shots, kill with the Rex. In BF4 it's like spam all the bullets I have in that pistol and kill people. And that seems to work for me. My primary weapon, and I was a bit torn, but it's the Ace 23. It seems like it's the one I've used the most since the AK-12. But, again, what do I put on here? I put on an RDS, the Coyote RDS, and Flash Hider instead of the Compensator. I'm actually not entirely sure why, but it's just something I put on there and it seems to work well for me. And then it kind of gives me a little more accuracy on the gun statistically, and an angled grip to give me more stability, less recoil. That works pretty well for me. What about grenades, by the way? because that was the choice. Like, I just use the impact grenades for the most part, because to me, I get instant satisfaction. I'll throw it where somebody is, boom, it blows up.
Lately, I've been using the impact grenade a lot more than I was. Originally, I was just using the straight up HE, just because it did more damage, and I wasn't really into messing around with the nades too much. And those minis were crazy when those were flying around until those got kind of nerfed. So
I used to use those then too. Guilty.
You could just pop them out like candy. They were crazy.
Yeah.
Especially in locker, it was just awful with those mini grenades, and they kind of ticked me off. It's like, this thing shouldn't do as much damage. It even says it doesn't do as much damage, but it's blowing me to pieces.
That's very true. And I guess the other thing, I put a laser sight on it, which just for added hipfire accuracy, because I find myself hipfiring more in BF4 than I used to in BF3.
See, and that's why I throw a vertical grip on, is because it reduces the penalty of hip firing by half. If you run and gun and you like to hip fire a lot, it'll help you out there.
That's probably my biggest challenge with loadouts in BF4, is that there's so many different things. And yeah, they have stats. It's all right there. You can compare it, but I don't want to get out a spreadsheet. And it just like, there's so many damn combinations. So I just found something and I'm happy with it. And I'm sure that there's probably better stuff, but it's what I feel comfortable with.
So next time we're going to talk about our favorite Ingi loadouts.
Yes. We will. I think we're going to go through the list basically the way that you see it on the loadout screens and the spawn screens.
Go in order.
Yes. And if you have any comments on our loadouts, or even just share your favorite ones with us, get to know everybody in the comments. You can tell a lot about a person by the favorite loadout of a certain kit, of a certain class that they use. Until next time, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please hit the like button. You can find us on Twitter @BF Podcast and @peekaboo_bang. And we'll see you in the next episode.